Hey everyone, Guppy Girl here, and welcome to my messy fish tank room. So, big news, this will be an update on what's happening in all my tanks, but also an update that I'm moving across the country. So, everything you see here, or as much as possible, I'm going to try to take with me. I've already had about 3 weeks to kind of shuffle some fish and shrimp and plants out of here. So I'll kind of go over everything. This tank used to be just females of a strain I was working on with the Japan Bloom gene, but yeah, now you can see I mixed in the males in there because tomorrow everybody's gonna go into big plastic tubs with their filters. This is my yellow snakeskin strain that I have. Originally I only had one female and 3 males, so I paired my one female up with the best looking male, had a lot of babies, and so most of the fish in here, all the babies over generations, she didn't drop like a huge batch every time, but yeah, that's what I've accumulated over time in there. Oh, next I forgot to mention I put my betta in here, little lady. She's kind of old, but she seems chill enough that she can be in a new habitat. She was in a tank behind me, I'll show you, but I put her in here because the other tank is gonna go first, so she needed a place to chill. She seems pretty calm, I would say. She hasn't gone on a murderous rampage yet, which is good. And these are my sick fish, or I'm kind of watching them because I'm not sure if I can take them or not. If they're not healthy, I'm not going to take them. I don't think they're going to make the trip. And over here is the usual magenta mosaic guppies, and there are a ton of babies in there. It's probably really hard to see. And then I have just all of my jars and knickknacks for fish stuff up there. Now for the bottom racks here, things have been changed up a little. This tub, let me go over to the side. This tub over here used to have my pair of yellow snakeskins, and this is basically where I had them chilling out and having babies. And you can see this is kind of how I was recording the births of that pair. So yeah, those are all first generation now up in the tank up there. And then here is the usual. Nothing really has changed with this one. There are a few of the yellow snakeskin babies in here because I thought they would get eaten if I put them above with the adults. And then my normal red neocaridina and Malawi shrimp, which they're hard to see because they're like almost the exact same color as the background, but there's one female over there. So I'm about to get more of the Malawi shrimp from Secret History Living in Your Aquarium. I live close to him, so I'm going to be ordering more from him, or buying more I should say, because I pick up. And this tub of plants was, I don't even know if you can tell, this was hair grass that I planted, and then I ended up ripping out like the rest of the hair grass in the tank behind me. So this is basically hair grass is planted, and then there's just a bunch just on top, and there's probably shrimp in there, knowing how shrimp get into everything. So there was shrimp in the tank behind me, probably baby shrimp in here we'll have to rescue later. This tank is, nothing much has happened. This is kind of my observation tank with just Japan blue yellow females in there. This tank has been ripped up. You can see there is nothing in this tank other than the filter and the substrate. This tank did have fancy males. Those I kind of separated into this, into this tank. And yeah, so now it's empty, and it does have planaria. I was taking everything out and I saw like a ton of planaria start coming out of every crack and crevice of the substrate and rocks. So these are all of the plants that came from there. There's obviously not very much because it wasn't very heavily planted, but this is like my only sword. I think it's a sword. I don't know, it's interesting. It's like a corkscrew valve, but it's not a valve. And yeah, you can see a bunch of rocks and a bunch of Anubias that's all covered in planaria. So my goals for later on is probably gonna keep all that because it looks pretty good in terms of like a leaf color. But I do need to like de-worm or de-planarize that. And then over here, my tank that I love is gone. It was like a 2-gallon, I think, or 2.5 gallon. I'll post a picture on the screen of it, but yep, that one is gone. RIP. Well, I mean, someone took the whole thing, so not RIP, but in my heart, it hurts, but I couldn't take it with me because I'm shipping everything. So in its place, we have a tub of shrimp and a little sponge filter, and believe it or not, there are 50 shrimp in there of various ages. They're all kind of, it's a fair amount hovered around the food right there, but yeah. Oh, actually you can see all the little shrimp poopies. Look at all those little logs. That is just littered with shrimp poop. Anyways, I'm shipping those out to someone on Monday. And then we have a ton of snails who look like they need clean water. Yes, yeah. So these are all the snails that I've kind of been pulling out of places where I'm gonna be giving away tanks and stuff. This tank used to have mutt guppies, and now it does not. Someone came and picked them all up, and I have the tank. I need to clean that up real good, and I'm probably gonna give that one away for free since the seal has kind of been eaten away a little bit when I had hamsters. So it holds water, but if someone wants to reseal it, that can be their project. And then here, maybe I should go up. Okay, we'll start on the top shelf. Top shelf, nothing really new. I know you guys haven't seen this before, but these two tanks are just basically on the lower level, and then I just moved them up here. And yeah, there are just some smaller variety of my Japan blue strain I'm working on, and there are some almost fully glass belly, I believe is what it's called, guppies. They originated from my Japan blue strain. Basically that whole colony, a couple of the females came out with a glass belly, and it's so hard to pick them up because everyone's going crazy. I'm not feeding you guys, but yeah, you can see one of the females is she's pretty bent in terms of her back, but I wanted to keep her because she has the gene for the glass belly. And then there's one other female who's almost full glass but not quite, so I thought they were interesting to keep as a kind of a science experiment. You could see like inside them, you can see their heart beating and where all the eggs are, and it's really cool. I'll need to get some footage of that close up. And then here, empty tank, just a bunch of plants I'm gonna sell. And this is my, I haven't even made a video on this yet. Maybe I'll post it right before this one, but this is just moss, terrarium moss. It was moss for my fish tanks that I'm trying to grow immersed for terrarium and immersed growth purposes for future projects. And let's see, here I had 2 of these 5-gallon marine land tanks, and one is gone. I will post a video picture of it on screen now. That was kind of set up for 3 or 4 months, and in the end started getting a lot of diatom algae. So it was at the end of the cycling period, and it was almost ready to have corals, and then I found out we were gonna move, so I kind of just let it be and do its thing. And someone came and picked that one up. I kept all the hardscape for later though, because believe you me, those barnacles, like those 2 pieces of barnacles, were so expensive. But off of Amazon if you want to put those in your tank. So yeah, now I'm left with this one here, and I didn't buy any of those marine land tanks. I actually traded them for a bunch of Anubias, so they were used, but I thought they were a great purchase considering they were in working shape more or less, and barely scratched. But now they can be someone else's project that they can do what they want with. And then next, This is just my plant grow out bin. There is way too much duckweed growing on top of this to make it efficient for plants to grow. But yeah, this is basically where I grow most of my Java fern, and I kill all my Java fern. Does that make any sense? It only grows good in these bins, which, I mean, good is relative because it's still not so hot looking. Let me try to focus. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple pieces, like you see the leaf is broken there. I mean, or not broken, but it's deteriorated. Same thing like with back there, there's leaves deteriorating things. And this one also has a bunch of planaria in here, so I have to take care of that before I move. Over here is most of my stem plants, I would say. I never ended up setting up the little sponge filter, and you can see there's one little fry who managed to go into my like dirty water bucket where I siphon all my dirty water, and I didn't want to put him back into the fish tank and pollute, possibly disease my other fish in case he picked up something, so he's just chilling in there. You can see there's like one shrimp over there. There's a couple more. Yeah, there's another shrimp there. So I need to take these shrimp out. In terms of plants, it's very simple. They're just scattered all over the place, but there's like some pearlweed here, Nubius nana, Hydrocot Japan, and then I actually have, I didn't realize this was a mini version, but that was pretty cool. A tank I got from somebody had this Hydrocot tripartita in it, and I thought it was just didn't have enough nutrients, so the leaves are small, but it's actually a mini variety. So that little one is so adorable. It's about like a quarter of the size of the normal tripartita leaf. And yeah, so that's mostly everything. And then there's like little bits of Java fern growing on rocks. And I'll probably do a video on this later, but this is just a bunch of little containers where I'm taking aquatic plants and growing them immersed. So they're kind of in their own little high humidity greenhouse, being in those little cups there. And this tank is gonna be also torn apart. No, I just started like falling in love even more with it, and I'm like getting to perfection in my mind with it, and then we have to leave. So it's a little disheveled look because I am taking out plants to give to people, so yeah, some of it's kind of ripped up in the back in the front a little bit. So that tank is also gonna go. And then this tank is, you can see, it's pretty much ready to be cleaned out completely. I was waiting to try to entice the snails in the front here with some food, and I don't even know if you can see, but there are just, I can't save every snail, guys. I'm just trying to save who I can save. But there are just a ton of the Malaysian trumpet snails, just little wee things everywhere. So yeah, and there's probably a few baby shrimp because this is where all the shrimp came from. So I've been using this pipette, which is cut in the front. You can see like it's kind of the holes larger in the front because I cut the tip off. So I've been using that to suck out whatever baby shrimp, but I think I got them all. So yeah, that tank is ready to go. That's basically everything, and everything needs to be cleaned up, put in giant boxes and packed and everything. So yeah, that's what's happening in the fish room right now. All of the fish so far I'm gonna be taking with me. Everything I didn't want to take I gave away already, and then the shrimp in the back over there are just pending to be shipped. So yeah, everything is from here on is coming with me, except all the glass tanks are gonna go. So I'll just reset the fish room, but with all my fish already and plants already with me, so that'll be fun. Resetting and redoing, like this tank I want to do bigger, and basically I'm gonna get like a couple, I think 15 cubes, 15 gallon cubes, and yeah, that'll be fun. Anyways, signing out.